Morning, afternoon, evening from wherever you're watching. Welcome back once again to the Mickey Mouse Class, a channel dedicated to demystifying mathematics and making complex things easy. Alright, today we'll be looking at differentiation. What do we mean by differentiation? Differentiation is simply a method that is used to compute the rate of change of a function. The rate of change of a function with respect to x, the input of x into that function. That's differentiation, rate of change. Now let's look at this very questions that we have here. We have y is equals to fx is to the power of 3 plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 3. The first thing when you are differentiating, the first thing to remember is multiply, take away. Multiply, take away. That's the first rule you should know, because sometimes some students mistake it for integration. So when you are talking about differentiating, we have take away, multiply, and take away. These are the guiding principles. Now let's see how this will work. The first one, we have that our y equals to 5x is to the power of 3 plus 4x squared minus 8x plus 3. Now, this is where this thing, take away and multiplication comes into play. So if I'm differentiating it with respect to x, that means the y over the x. That means the rate of change of y with respect to x. The rate of change of this function with respect to x, that's differentiation. So the y over the x, let's multiply. So you multiply the power here up by 5. That's 3 times 5, that's 15. Then take away 1 from this power. 15x is the power of 2 plus 4 times 2, 8. 2 minus 1, you always subtract 1 from the powers. That's 1. Minus 8 times x. This will become 1 times minus 8. That's minus 8. 1 minus 1 here is 0. So anything raised to the power 0 is 1. 1 times minus 8 is minus negative 8. Now differentiating a constant is a rule. When you differentiate a constant, the value is 0. So the y over the x is 15x squared plus 8x minus 8. Now let's look at this number 2. F of x is equals to 2x raised to the power of 4 minus 6x plus 1. The same rule of differentiation, multiply, take away. So f prime of x will be equals to, when we are differentiating this function with respect to x, it will become 4 times 2, that's 8x. Take away 1 from this, 4 minus 1, that's 3. Minus, this is raised to the power of 1. 1 times minus 6, minus 6. So our f prime of x will be 8 raised to the power 8x is to the power 3 minus 6. Now let's look at the third one. F of x is equals to 3x squared plus 4 over x minus 2. Now the first thing to do in this place, arrange this 4 over x, and from our laws of indices, this becomes 3x squared plus 4x raised to the power of minus 1, negative index. Bring this x up, it becomes x raised to the power of negative 1 minus 2. Now after arranging it, after we have arranged it, we can therefore differentiate. So our f prime of x will be equals to multiply 2 times 3, that's 6. X, 2 minus 1, it goes off, that's 1, plus, okay, no, not plus, because the power here is negative. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. X minus 1 minus 1, negative minus, that will be minus 2. When you differentiate a constant, that's 0. So f prime of x is 6x minus 4x is to the power of minus 2. Or I can rewrite it like this. F prime of x is equals to 6x minus 4 over x is to the power of 2. So that is the answer. All right, let's look at further examples. This is 2 times root 2 minus 5 over x raised to the power of 2. Now let's solve this. This becomes 2 times root x minus 5 over x raised to the power 2. The first thing, put it in proper perspective, put it well. Now let's say this is our f of x. So our f prime of x will be equals to, another way of writing square root is raised to the power of half. So this becomes 2x raised to the power of half minus, from our negative index, 5x raised to the power of negative 2. When this x squared comes up, it becomes x raised to the power of negative 2. Now we can differentiate. Our f prime of x will be equals to half times 2 is what? 2. So we are left, it's 1. We are left with 1. 1 times x is x. So x, then half minus 1. That will be what? Negative half. Then this times this. Negative 2 times negative 5. That's plus 10. Then we are left with negative 2 minus 1. That's x is to the power of minus 3. Negative 3. So we have ended up differentiating this to be this. Now let's look at number 5. The fifth one says y equals to 2x plus 1 into bracket x minus 3. Before we differentiate it, find the y over the x. The first thing, let's expand this bracket using the FOIL method. This times this, 2x times x, that's 2x squared. 2x times minus 3, that's minus 6x, plus 1 times 2, that's plus x, plus 1 times x rather, plus 1 times negative 3, that's negative 3. Now this becomes y is equals to 2x squared minus 6x plus 4x is what? Negative 5x minus 3. Now we can find the y over the x. Now we differentiate this with respect to x. So this times this, 2 times 2, that's 4. So we have 4x, 2 minus 1, that's 1, minus 1 times negative 5, 5, 1 minus 1, 0, x raised to the power 0 is what? 1. So that's that. And the last one, we have our f of x equals to 4x raised to the power of 3 plus 1 over x. The same thing, let's arrange this. Over x, when you take it up from your indices, you can check out our series on indices, plus 1 into bracket x raised to the power of minus 1 is the power of negative 1. Now expand this bracket. Don't forget, when you are multiplying, you add the powers from our laws of indices. So this becomes 4x, 3 plus negative 1, that will be plus 2. Then this times this, that's plus x is to the power of negative 1. So our f prime of x, when we differentiate it, 2 times 4, that's 8x. 2 minus 1, the power becomes 1. And this is negative 1 times this, that's negative 1x. Then you have minus 1 minus 1, negative 2. So this becomes, you can rewrite it if you like, 8x minus 1 over x is to the power of 2. Alright, I hope you have learned into this class. This is just a brief way of solving explanation of differentiation. Alright, before we go, in our usual style, this is a list of take-home form. Don't forget differentiation, multiply, and take away. Now, the first one, you can try it out. Y is equals to 5x raised to the power 3 minus 6x squared plus 4x plus 1. The second one, f of x is equals to 2x raised to the power 3 minus 2x minus 1. The third one is y is equals to the cube root of x minus 2x raised to the power of negative 3. The fourth one, f of x is equals to 3x plus 2 multiplied by x minus 1. And the last one, f of x is equals to 4x raised to the power of 5 plus 3 over x squared. I hope you have learned well. Do let me know, solve them, put the answers in the comment section, and if there's any area you want me to treat in mathematics, put it in the comment section and I'll be attending to them. And I hope you have really learned today. Keep practicing. Remember, mathematics is fun. If you are yet to subscribe, hit the subscribe button, share, like our videos, and we'll see you in the next class. Shalom.